The Transportation Committee has a long history of being a bipartisan committee. This bill has always been bipartisan, and we should be working on this together because everyone supports infrastructure. This is not representation. This entire process is a farce. It continues to ignore the need for reasonable bipartisan solutions. This bill now has 1,400 pages of text that was airdropped in here, never seen the light of day in our committee. The bill came out of committee at maybe 1,100 pages. We just effectively approved $250 million, $250 million in 2 minutes. This is like monopoly money we're sitting here playing with. But the reality is, these are taxpayer funds. And now we're just going to appropriate trillions of dollars in taxpayer funds without adequate consideration. Of nearly 390 amendments offered up, 148 of them are Democrat amendments. And that, of course, compares to somewhere around 22 Republican amendments that are being allowed. Our amendment is number 349. Our amendment amends page 1968 that I'm sure everyone here has read. It very simply says, in order for this new urban park grant program, that if you're going to take money from one area, that you need to at least make sure that the area where the revenues are coming from, which happens to be the area that I represent, that it is sustainable and that it would be a better investment for taxpayers to invest it in the urban parks than it would be to ensure the ecological and the community resilience or sustainability of these regions. That's it. Very simple amendment. I would love for anybody to explain to me why they're opposed to this amendment and what they're going to explain to people next time we have a hurricane and these communities are decimated. And perhaps most offensive to the people that I represent, Mr. Speaker, is that we offered amendments to clarify the eligibility of the $10 billion in Corps of Engineer funding that was airdropped in this bill. That projects under the Mississippi River and Tributaries Program, one of the large construction programs the Corps of Engineer runs. We just offered an amendment to clarify that, and I was told, oh no, you can't do that. And so instead, we're going to spend billions of dollars picking up the pieces of these flooded communities over and over again, instead of actually being proactive in protecting them. Another amendment that would allow us to expedite the process to build a crossing of the Mississippi River on I-10. We have one of the worst bottlenecks in the nation. And I was told once again, no, you can't do that. Can't even offer the amendment up. So if you're a vulnerable Democrat, you get your Corps of Engineer amendments, but if you're not allowed to get those. Dating back decades, we have had bipartisan legislation related to infrastructure. Dating back T21 in the late 1990s, 337 to 80. Safety Lou, 417 to 9. MAP 21, 293 to 127. FAST Act, 372 aye votes. It didn't have to be this way. We could have come together and written an infrastructure bill that would have easily cleared this chamber. This is a failure of leadership. And it's incredibly disappointing to watch this continue to happen when we have such urgent needs in this country. Our constitutional republic is being hijacked right now, and we're not being allowed to represent the people that we were sent here to represent. Let's sit back down as we have done, put infrastructure bills together that advance the interest of the American citizens and address the incredible infrastructure needs that we have in this nation.